All right, so I want to show you how to do this faux bezel. That is this outer piece here. You can see there are no visible seams along that outside edge. It's the same technique that's used here to trap the stone and here as well. You can even go quite small, as with these earrings. You can see that that bezel is holding in the stone, so that top piece is the setting. So, all right, so I've got my stone that I'll be setting. This is 15 millimeters by 12 millimeters. I have 20 gauge square wire for the base. Is about 8 millimeters, I think. No, 90 millimeters, 9 centimeters. And about 20 inches of 22 gauge half round wire bent in the middle with the flat side inward, rounded side outward. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the middle of my base wires. And for this size stone, I'm going to do 10 millimeters or 1 centimeter to the left of that. And this is going to be my left side of the setting. So it will go like that, and that's going to be my bottom center. So now I'm going to wrap these two base wires together with the half round. And I'm going to wrap between these two marks. And then I'm going to count how many wraps was that. So this is 15 wraps. And I'm going to pull the insides upwards 90 degrees, leaving a little bit of like a curve in there. I'm not trying to make it too severe, just about like that. And then I'm going to wrap 5 times just around the outer base wire on both sides. So there you go, that's 5 wraps around here, 5 wraps around here, and we can look at this on the stone. This is how it's shaping up. So now we want to bend this outer wire into place using our needle nose pliers. And just grasping and doing a nice, quick, decisive turn. And sort of arrange these afterward. And then you can see, okay, and then I can decide on the angle of the bottom. I can pull it a little bit inward, make it a little more of a V. Oops, didn't mean to bend that. Just like that, that looks good. So then I'm gonna take my flat nose pliers here and squeeze here to bring these nice and close together. And then I'm gonna wrap both of them the same number of times as this, so 15 times up this way. So there we go, that's 15 wraps up that way. And then I'm gonna pull this one to match this one here. So I'm gonna pull it up and in, and I wanna cross these two at the top in a way that makes everything kind of symmetrical and that is going to fit on the stone. So I want to make sure that it's hitting all 4 of the points that I needed to hit in order for the bezel to work effectively. And so here, 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 and here, that's where I'm trying to get it to make sure that it's small enough that the stone won't come through when it's set like that. So once you've got these top guys positioned here, Nice. I'm gonna do my 5 around the outer wire here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm gonna bend it just like I did the bottom part. Just like that, and you kind of squish these guys back in, you know. And then the same here. I'll just do it from the other side because it's easier. So now you've got that top portion. All right, so you've got the top cross kind of arranged so that it's gonna be correct on the stone. And then we're gonna do 3 wraps on either side around both. So 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to measure and mark the lengths here and where they should cross. So if the wrapping starts there, it should, in theory, end here 1 centimeter that way, and it should also end here, and then just 1 little millimeter allowance for where the cross takes place since it's a curved area. Now we're going to mark on the inner wire five millimeters down from that mark. This is where our inner wires are going to meet up. And on the opposite side, from the same mark, five millimeters up. Clip these flush and accurately as you can. Now this one you want to clip, and make sure you don't clip the second wire. You're only clipping the inside one, just like that. So now we're going to bend this inner wire so that it meets here. I should have marked this on the other side. Okay. There we go, kind of a gentle curve. And that's gonna meet up right there. Now on this other side, we're gonna clip this long one just kind of at a point near the center so that it's out of our way. Check the fit again. Great, that's looking good. And so now I can wrap all the way up here, and it should be 15 total wraps. So I'm gonna go do that in 3, 4, etc. So I've done 15 wraps up, and you can see that now you can't tell that there's even a seam in there. And we're gonna do the same 5 wraps that we did before around just this one. You wanna get them nice and tight in there. And we're gonna do the same turn that we've done on the other 3 sides. Oop. Same turn that we've done on the other 3 sides. Nice and decisive. Would have been better if I had this under here, but that'll do. And then what our goal is to chop this square wire off so that it just marries next to this one. Just goes right in there. So let's see if we can achieve that. You want it to be as snug as possible, and definitely not more width in here than the length of one of these wrapping wires. Those look like those will come together pretty nicely. So now I'm going to wrap this way. Okay, so now we have the 2 wrapping wires traveling toward each other around the piece. And if we keep going like this, they're probably going to meet just about right where that seam is, but that's already a weak point. So what we really want to do is end on the back side closer to one of these ends. So for example, I'm going to stop wrapping this one, and I'm just going to wrap this one all the way up. And I'm aiming for the same number. I've got 4 on this side and 4 on this side, so I have 8 so far, and I'm aiming for 15. So that's 8, 9, 'So I went 15 wraps total. 15 wraps total, and they're meeting at a single wrap. So now I'm just going to clip off quite short, but enough so that it folds over, and then fold this over, and then try to clip off the same amount on the other side so that the 2 little ends of wire meet up nicely just right there. And that's the only seam, the only visible seam you're going to find on this piece is right there. So what I actually like to do is mark it with a Sharpie, because once you're no longer looking at it, it becomes hard to find. And you want to make sure that that's on the back of your piece. And we now have a faux bezel to attach to the piece, just like this over the top of the stone. And how we will attach it is with half round wire. I'll take this as an example. Fold in half and place through each of these little corner areas. There should be enough room for at least wire that is of the same gauge that you used as the wrapping wire. So 4 corners just like that, and you would use all of the ends to attach to your piece. So if we look at one like this, you can see those little stitches in there. They come through and wrap around these base struts here. So here's the result. I did make a frame for this stone and a seat for it to sit in, but it's being trapped on the top by the faux bezel.